Hello, Foodie Beauties.
Strange when you're a stranger, faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted, streets are uneven.
Hi, Foodie Beauties. What is up, guys? So, I would tell you what this is, but I have no idea what the hell it is. So, I went to that vegan Asian place, and I ordered a love's nest. A love's nest, okay? So, it came with all these, like, hard vermicelli noodles, which seem to get softer as I put the sauce on. And then it has vegan chicken and vegetables. You know what I was thinking today? I was watching mukbangs, anime mukbang today, candy cakes. You know what? I'm jealous. And here's why. Because other mukbangers are so wholesome. You know, they don't talk about weird shit like I do. And it's like, I just feel like I can't help it. It's like it's just stuff I talk about. And I'm a bit self-conscious about it because as a kid, I was always that friend, the troublemaker friend, that parents didn't want their kids hanging around with because they thought I was a troublemaker and said weird things. I was the first one to find out about cleavage in like grade, I think in kindergarten. We thought it was cleavage with a P. And I spread that word around and I got in trouble by the teacher. She told my mom, "Why is your daughter learning these words?" Because my parents didn't hide their porn stash too well, did they? I'm just kidding. Then, no, I think I was probably like a little older than that when I found the porn. But, I remember one sleepover I had with my friend. I was trying to scare her, like purposely, trying to tell her every creepy thing I could so she would be scared. And she screamed for her mom, and my mom was like, "You're never sleeping here again." And part of me didn't understand why. Like, I wasn't afraid of these things. I found them fascinating, so it didn't occur to me, you know? So anyway, I've always just had kind of a weird, warped mind. And sometimes I second guess myself, like, why am I not normal like everyone else? You know? So, speaking of warped, I have a story for you. I thought I'd tell you about my Nigerian lover. You're probably thinking, what a skank, she has so many different lovers. From across the globe. And baby's working so I can talk about my previous lovers. This guy was a jerk. He was from Nigeria. He lived in Montreal. He said his name was Paul. But that wasn't his real, like, African name. This is when I was starting to fall out of love with my ex. I hadn't broke up with him yet. I wasn't sure. I was in denial about having to change my life. Because that's a big step. Changing completely your life is just like, upheaving it is just, it's madness. You get scared, you feel insecure, you're like, well, I have a cushy life right now with this guy. But I'm a very sexual person, and I know people stay together out of convenience. They don't want to ruin a family. But I need good sex in my life, and I need passion, and I need attention. And I wasn't getting all those things anymore. So, honestly, it's nothing that he did wrong. I think I fell out of love with him. So I started going out more. When we were together, I was pretty, I stopped really going out with my friends as much. I never was a club person, but I started getting into dance music and clubs and caring more about how I looked. I dyed my hair blonde. I think I have a picture of that night I met this guy. One night, we're all having a girls' night. We're going out to a club. We're lined up at the door. As I'm going in, I feel a guy grab my waist. Whatever waist I have. Put his arms kind of around me. Like, kind of jumped and turned around. And it was this tall guy. I wasn't physically attracted to him. I was like, why are you touching me, you know? He was like, hi, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember what he said. I'm like, thanks. That was that. He went away. He was already at the club with 2 other women. So that should tell you what kind of scum he was. No, I don't care if he sees this too. What prompted me to remember this guy is the other day I was laying in bed. Well, a little while ago. I was in bed with BB. He was still sleeping. First thing I do when I wake up is I check my phone. I don't know about you guys. I'm a phone addict. And I had a Facebook. You know, on Facebook Messenger, where it's like a filtered message and you have to approve if you want to talk to the person. It was a message from him. And he had hurt my feelings so bad, like it ended badly, that I was like, finally? And I've been holding back messaging him myself for years, rubbing it in that I'm with such a wonderful person to treat me well. But no, he messaged me, so I was going to let him know. I approved the message. He's like, hey, beautiful, you're still so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? I'm like, do you honestly? So I said, do you honestly think that after what you put me through, I'm going to talk to you? And he's like, don't have any hard feelings. He's like, I treated you like shit. I'm sorry. Probably just wanted to get laid. He had a kid with somebody else already. Like, get out of here. So then he was like, I'm sorry. Can you give me another chance? Can we meet up? No. So I was like, I just want to let you know. I just approved this message to let you know that I'm with a man that never makes me feel like shit about myself. He's a real man. You're a piece of shit. And I blocked him again. This guy used me. He abused me. So, I go outside at the club, back to that night, for a cigarette. I smoked back then. Came over to me, starts chatting me up, really sweet talking me, making me feel beautiful. He likes bigger women. He gets my number. I like attention. As I'm going in the bar, 2 girls stop me and they're like, "Are you here? Were you talking to Paul?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Well, we're here with him." And he was like bad-mouthing the people he was there with to me. So I was like, wow, you know, that kind of gave me a bit of a red light. So like, just be careful. So this guy, the minute I give him my number, texting me all night. I wasn't sure that I wanted to take the step and cheat on my ex. I know it's a horrible thing. This guy, I could tell he was crazy and possessive right away because he messaged me. One day I went to my friends to hang out. He calls me. I don't pick up. He calls me again. I answer. He's like, I'm on my way to come get you from Montreal. I'm like, well, I'm at my friends. I never made plans with you. He's like, you're gonna ditch me. I drove all the way, blah, blah, blah. Like, totally trying to guilt trip me. Like, I never asked you. Like, he did that all the time. So I just ignored him. So I did eventually meet up with him a couple times. I never had intercourse with him yet, but we fooled around. So that's when I cheated on him, on my ex. I felt terrible. I did break up with him shortly after this ordeal and told him I did cheat on him. So one night, this is when the abuse starts. So one night I invite him to my friend's house. I'm not friends with this girl anymore because she's not a good friend. Never was. She lived in the basement. I had an apartment on the 3rd floor, okay? I was living with my ex. I invite him over we were going to party. Me, him, and her. We're drinking heavily, you know, I'm catching a tune. He tells us that he was a male stripper in Montreal before, and he starts dancing. I still didn't find him physically attractive, so I don't know why I was even with him. I'm like, I'm gonna go get some air and I'm gonna go for a smoke. I leave them in the apartment. I was out there alone, maybe for 2 minutes, literally. He comes outside, and I'm really drunk. And he's like, hey, just want to let you know I just fucked your friend. I was like, I wasn't really dating this guy. We were just, you know, starting to hang out. And he's like, I fucked your friend. In 2 minutes, well, I was gone. I'm like, that sneaky frigging slutty bitch. Like, that's exactly what I said. He's like, she handed me a condom. It was her idea, and we did it. She was up against her dresser, and I did her from behind. And I was like, wow. So I start yelling at him. He's like, listen to me, listen to me. He grabs me, smacks me across the face, and I just, like, no man has ever smacked me. I was so stunned. But I was, like, hurt that my friend would do that. Him, I didn't know what to expect from him. But why would you persistently try to get me with you and then screw my friends? He's like, I want to let you know I want to have... He's like, if you let me sleep with your friend, and you're a good friend to me, and you hook me up with some of your friends, I could offer you the world. Oh my god, this guy was such a friggin' con artist. Maybe some of you know him. Anyway. That was that, okay? I wasn't gonna act mad at her. I didn't want to ruin the night. But after a while, when he wasn't around, I was like, so Paul said you had sex with him. You know? And she denied it. She fucking lied to my face and denied it. You know, I didn't believe her because she's done that to other friends in our group. So... he used to come down and I would pay for hotel rooms. I got suckered in because I must have had no self-esteem. And that's why I'm so fierce today. Because I'm angry. Because I'm angry not at them. Because people through all walks of life are going to try to take a big shit on you. And you have to develop the self-worth to make yourself bulletproof. Do I have no self-respect? I don't have any self-respect. I know you're probably laughing at me right now, but you know what? It's true. I would never put up with shit like that ever today. Oh my god. But back then, oh yeah, I did. I put up with it. I got a hotel room. This disgusting pig of a man, you know, he made me take off all my clothes. We had pitiful sex, and he was another weirdo who was like, say my African name, say my African name. So he made me yell out his African name when we were doing it. And it was like 1 second long, did nothing for me. He took a picture of me, like naked, and he showed it to me. He's like, that's kind of gross, don't you think? Like, I'm not fucking kidding. And I was like, and then he showed me this Facebook page. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like all pictures of women, like all different kinds, like naked. It was just like a real creep page. And I'm like, I'm not the only woman this guy's victimized. He wants me to feel low and like shit so he can continue to abuse me emotionally, physically. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not one of those. I'm not going to be in an abusive relationship. So I was like, this is the last time, you know? So I fell asleep, woke up. I feel something wet. This is a bit gross, okay? I started my period. Like, having sex, I guess, with him provoked my period to happen. It was all over the bed. All over him. Instead of being a gentleman and like, it's okay, you know? He starts degrading me. Ugh, I don't even want you in my car. Like, it's disgusting, you know? So he drops me off at home. After me being like, you're gonna let me walk home? I thought that was it, you know? Then he, later in the day, starts calling me, wanting to come over, wanting to see me, wanting me to hook him up with my fucking friend. Oh my... I just ignored. No. Eventually I gave in to him. So, he's like, you know, give me another chance. I rent another hotel room. Mostly because I wanted to stay away for the night from my ex. Things weren't good. So I get a hotel room. He's like, I want you to meet my friend. I'm bringing her down from Montreal. The whole night, he was being an asshole. I was drinking. I guess secretly the plan the whole time was to get me to pay for a hotel room for them. Like, can you say sucker? Because, I don't know, we were fighting the whole night. He would treat me like shit. So, they ended up in the hotel room that I paid for, screwing all night while I slept in my car. Makes me angry. That was really the last straw. I just said, fuck you. Bye. You're a piece of shit. He really is. And some dipshit had a kid with this guy. Have fun. Anyway, I believe in karma. And I think that I was sent BB as a consolation for this jerk. Anyway. So if you're in an abusive relationship, get out. Get out. It's just going to get worse, and you are going to not recognize yourself anymore. They're just going to degrade you to the point where you are nothing. And you don't deserve that. Some sick people get off on hurting others and abusing them. So I don't talk to that friend anymore. I don't think she has very many friends. Friends are not a right. They're a privilege. Someday you're gonna you're gonna need help. And you're gonna need someone to turn to. And if you don't treat people properly, you know. Like I said, guys, thank you for watching. And allowing me to share this story with you. It was horrible. As I'm retelling it, I'm just like, it's so horrible, and I didn't deserve to be treated that way. Nobody deserves to be treated that way. There's always a wonderful man out there, or partner out there, waiting to show you the love you deserve. And you deserve that kind of love. Except for that jerk. Anyways.